Overdose deaths in America hitting a record high, fueled in large part by highly lethal street fentanyl. The number of Americans dying surpassing 100,000 for the first time last year. Drug traffickers preying on people as young as teenagers, mixing fentanyl with other drugs and putting it in fake pills. The CDC says these fentanyl overdoses were the leading cause of death for Americans between 18 and 45. A majority of the chemicals in the deadly drug are produced in China and come into our country from the southern border. The DEA says it's time to crack down.
China's to blame. Chinese chemical companies are the largest producer right now of the precursor chemicals that are being used to make fentanyl. There's a relationship between these Chinese chemical companies and the criminal cartels in Mexico. I think it's important to talk about the border, and I can say with 100% assurance that the criminal drug cartels in Mexico will stop at nothing to get fentanyl into the United States.
Judge, go ahead.
You know what? What she's saying, she could have said 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
There's nothing new in what she said. And the problem is that we've got a president who is not focused on this and not focused on the number of young people who are dying. And everybody's saying that's overdoses. And I'm going to say the obvious that everybody at this table already understands. And that is that the precursor to fentanyl and fentanyl is coming from China through the cartels. They're doing the money laundering. This is in an undeclared war by China against the United States. They are killing young people who are borrowing pain pills that are imprinted as though they're real pills, but they're laced with fentanyl. They are killing us.
What do you think the chances are, Geraldo, when Xi Jinping, or whatever his name is, was on the phone with our president? Do you think our president even mentioned fentanyl in a 2.5-hour conversation?
He may have, but I've been covering the war on drugs, so-called, since Richard Nixon declared it back in 1971. And I'll tell you this. Don't worry about the things you can't do something about. What you can do is tell your kid, don't use that drug, whatever it says it is, whether it's meth or cocaine or hair, whatever it says it is, remember Prince. It's probably fentanyl.
But do they
And it's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. Wait. Fentanyl is killing more than AIDS, car crashes, and guns.
Yes.
Wow. And we lost 2 kids at Ohio State the other day.
Yeah, and you had the West Point grads also.
I mean, every parent says this to your children. Don't take anything. Don't take any pill that anyone gives you because you don't know what's in it, no matter what they tell you. But so that's one front of this. The other front is to keep it from getting into the country. And I will say President Trump at least tried with President Xi. He brought this issue up, and they, supposedly had some sort of agreement, which obviously fell apart, unfortunately. Right. But there was an effort made at that point. But the problem is that exactly what Janine is saying. This is another way to infiltrate this country. And the Chinese are doing this through drugs. They're doing it through the economy. They're doing it through putting people in American corporations and universities. They're doing it in Taiwan. They're doing it in Hong Kong.
Buying farmland?
Exactly. So, I mean, and this isn't something that we hear the president talk about in a comprehensive way and say, look, we need to understand this. We are up against this aggressor in all of these ways. We need to take it. I feel like a lot of times, people from the White House go in to talk about stuff. You're like, does this really matter?
Yeah.
Does this really matter? Why aren't we talking about the other stuff that we know matters?
Right. And how about this? This is what I think is, especially in cities about this, it's one and done. You don't like necessarily, I'm doing crack and I got addicted to crack and you end up dying, you make bad decisions. One and done in things, maybe over-the-counter drugs that are laced with this. And I think this is China's opium war on us.
It is.
They should be blaming Britain for it, but they're blaming us for it, and they think they'll take us down from the inside. Yep. But it's so simple. It is made in China, given to the cartels, brought across the border. The Mexican government is scared of the cartels, so let's help them out, like Mark Esper wrote about. And the president says, how do I stop it? Why don't we bomb them ourselves? Yep. Maybe you can't do it that way, but we do help other groups, other governments, crack down on their terrorists. Cartels are terrorists.
The Mexican government is key. The Mexican government's cooperation is so crucial. If you want to control immigration, you need the Mexican government to be on your side.
Yeah, but the Mexican government doesn't exist. The cartels run the Mexican government, and that's the whole problem.
But we can empower the government.
We can, exactly, and that's what Donald Trump did. He empowered the Mexicans with a stay in Mexico policy, when before that, everyone said, Mexico doesn't care. Well, you can make them care.
And suddenly they had all of their own police forces on the Mexican side of the border. And one other thing I forgot was COVID, intentionally or unintentionally, killed close to 1 million Americans.
Thanks, China.
Dr. Redfield says it came from the lab.
Again, something
intentionally or unintentionally.
that
That's
probably
nearly 1 million people.
didn't come up on the call either. The COVID leak.
Probably not.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.